Find out why you cannot use the restroom right now at a popular park in Baldwin County. Bond set for a man accused in the New Year's Day homicide in Bay Minette and a second arrest. And the first candidate to throw her hat in the ring in hopes of becoming Mobile's next mayor. News 5 Now starts right now.
Brought to you by Green & Phillips, covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is News 5 Now. I'm Cherish Lombard. Every day we join you live right here on WKRG.com and the WKRG Facebook page with the 5 big stories of the day. We also have the News 5 Now poll of the day and question of the day. So if you're ready, let's do it. We always start with the 5 big stories of the day. Number 5, the Fairhopers Community Park restrooms out of order until further notice. Fairhope Parks and Rec officials say both the men's and women's restrooms at the park were vandalized. They didn't go into specifics, but did apologize for the convenience. Number 4, Eglin Air Force Base officials are investigating after a 300-gallon fuel tank dropped from a fighter jet midair into a neighborhood. The tank dropped from an F-16 Fighting Falcon yesterday and landed in a residential area near the base in Niceville. No injuries are reported and no initial property damage reports. Eglin authorities say they're cleaning that area and taking measures to ensure the fuel tank is safely removed. So if you happen to look up, see a drone flying, that is being used to survey the impact zone. Number 3, the reward for the State Line Mississippi killer is now at 6 figures. $100,000 is being offered to the person who leads officers to this man who they say shot 3 people to death at a convenience store near the Alabama-Mississippi border on New Year's Day. Clerk Rhonda Denson, her boyfriend Lester Campbell, and customer Jason Thornton were killed at the Clark's gas station on St. Peter Street around 6 a.m. on January 1st. Investigators believe the suspect hid and waited for the store to open before robbing and shooting the victims. If you see the gunman or if you have seen him, investigators with the Greene County Sheriff's Office want to hear from you. Number 2, a judge set bond at $350,000 for the second person arrested in connection with the deadly New Year's Day shooting in Bay Minette. The judge made that bail decision for 18-year-old Armani Hooks because of his criminal history and told Hooks to stay out of Bay Minette and away from guns if he makes bond. He'll also be under house arrest and will have to wear a GPS ankle monitor. Hooks is charged in the murder of 20-year-old Jatavius French in Bay Minette. Officers tell us French was gunned down when at least 25 rounds were fired on Pecan Street following a fight the night before on New Year's Eve. Hooks was already out on bond for another case that was supposed to go to trial next month. 18-year-old Kendrick Johnson was also arrested and charged with French's murder. Number 1. Mobile County Commissioner Connie Hudson announced she is running to become the next mayor of Mobile, the first to announce her candidacy. She released a video on YouTube today promising to complete Civic Center construction and projects at the new downtown airport. Hudson has represented District 2 as the county commissioner since 2010, and prior to that, she was a member of the city council for District 6 for nearly 9 years. Mobile's municipal election is set for August 26th. Those are your big stories of the day. There you go, all 5 of them. It is now time for the News 5 Now question of the day. Question is put up each day on Facebook. We ask for your answers. And this one is, do you think it's a good idea for Facebook to replace fact-checking with community notes? So we're going to go over and read some of your comments. Here we go. Jim Johnson says, Facebook fact-check censorship of conservative viewpoints. Wayne says, so basically Facebook is admitting they censored posts under the disguise of being, okay. I'm going to move on. Mike says, no, it won't matter what you call it. People are going to believe what they want to believe. Doug says, it's a great idea as the so-called independent fact checkers were a joke at best. And Elias says, no, misinformation and grand insults toward minorities will rule the day. No one will do a thing. Lynn says, they'll still censor conservative, and they just keep going on. I was pretty sure when I heard this question of the day that it was going to be a heated one, and we would not be able to read a lot of the comments. So let's move on shall we? Let's go to the poll of the day. And the poll asks, how do you feel about President-elect Donald Trump's idea to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America? And here's how you voted. You see on your screen, 58% love it, 42% hate it. And the question of the day, already on Facebook ahead of tomorrow, it is, how often do you use artificial intelligence? We're seeing a lot of that these days. And you can go ahead and vote in the next Facebook poll. Will you watch the college football national championship if an SEC team is not in it? There you go. And we hope you will join us for WKRG News 5 at 6:30. Then on our sister station, the Gulf Coast CW, for WKRG News 5 at 9, and back for News 5 at 10 on WKRG. And thank you so much for joining us here and jumping in that conversation on News 5 Now.
Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now, brought to you by Green & Phillips.